Good morning, Rudy Campos, Remax Gold Coast Realtors, 479-2992. This morning I have the pleasure to be here with my good friend, Michael Padilla with Tyco Title Insurance. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about title insurance, what it's for, who needs it, and why. So Michael, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Rudy. Thank you. I was talking to Rudy, and we've done, business together for a while. One of the biggest things with title insurance is, for a seller, you need to market your property. You need to have a good title going forward. And for a buyer, you have to have good title when you're purchasing the property. It needs to be, nice, clean, and clear. So a couple of the things that we do is when you open up a title order, we need to get an SI. Typically that's from escrow is going to request it. The SI comes in and it's called a statement of information. That information is your social security number. It is your just basic if you have any other names or any aliases so that we can do a good title search, because our title report and our title policy is only as good as the information that we get.
That's great.
Yeah, another thing is, when we're trying to clean up title and we're looking at these documents on the chain of title, we're looking at people's names. The information that we pull could be a lien, it could be a judgment, it could be an old unsecured deed like a deed of trust from, let's say, 1980 that was just never reconveyed. There's no reconveyance recorded with the county. So there's a little bit of work that we have to do in order to get that cleared so that it doesn't show up on the preliminary title report. So we're basically trying to market the title.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do.
Right, and as we had talked before when we interviewed Araceli De Lara, the escrow officer, she mentioned too that one of the most important things to provide to her immediately is a statement of information, and as Michael says, for that reason. How much time does all this take normally in the process of doing an escrow?
Sure. Well, typically, because we're talking about deeds and we're talking about documents, the Ventura County Recorders usually takes 5 to 7 days for the actual deeds to show up. So when somebody comes in and wants to rush, let's rush this order, we're all cash, or I have the grant deed right here, let's go ahead and do this deal. We have to be careful because there are such things as kitchen table deeds, and what that is let's say I'm, Rudy and I are related, and I'm saying, hey, I want to transfer you my property. We can very quickly sign a document, take it to the county, and have it recorded, and not go through title insurance, and not even go through escrow. I can then, a couple days later, go to another location, fill out another deed, have a notary sign it, as long as we're there, with our IDs or our licenses. So you have to be careful, and you have to, leave the time in order for those documents to show up on the chain. So when you first open up the order, typically, a sale would take about anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, depending on the complexity, for that preliminary title report to come out. And that's what's going to show all those unsecured deeds, liens, judgments, or show that the property is free and clear, that it's actually paid off. So that's one of the things that we're waiting for in the process. After that, it takes time to clear if there's anything that shows up. But I mean, we can do them as quick as 2 weeks. If there's an all cash, if everything's clean, if it's a flip property and we know everything's clean because they've already done that preliminary title report and there's already a policy of title insurance on it, and a binder's issued, it's already pretty much clean, so we can rush it even quicker than that. But typically, I'd say about 2 weeks just to be safe.
Okay.
And
what are some of the things that people can do, or what are some ways that people can save money when they're buying title insurance? Sellers or buyers?
Sure. Well, one of the things, a big money saver is the binder policy, but that's only if somebody's going to flip the property. So a binder policy, whatever the policy of title insurance cost, you're paying 10% extra at that time that it's issued. So when you first purchase the property, you have 2 years in order to sell the property, and all you're doing is paying the difference of the price. So if you buy it for $250 and you sell it for $300, you're just paying for that $50,000 in that binder. You can also extend it for another 2 years, so you can extend it out to 4 years, but you're paying another 10%. That's one way to save money. But typically, when you do a title transaction, all you're paying for, is the preliminary title report when it's pulled, or you're paying for the actual title insurance, the policy.
Okay. Right. So if people wanted to find out more about some of the things that they can do to prepare themselves to sell a property or to buy a home, I think you have a couple of.
Yeah, I brought these.
Fine.
These are the California buyers and seller guides to title and escrow. We have them in English and we have them in Spanish. They go through the whole title process, and it has a flow chart to show you the steps in title, the steps in escrow, red flags that may come up, you know, like unsecured deeds, delinquent property taxes, old federal tax liens, bankruptcies. I mean, there's so many. This has a couple of pages dedicated to just that. The other thing that it does is it'll have a ways to hold title, so different vesting, joint tenants, community property, you know, sole and separate. They all affect the way the property is sold. So, you know, when people are trying to sell a property and it's vested a certain way, sometimes they have to do a little bit of work in order to get that cleaned up and to sell it. And then, of course, that brings me into trusts. You know,
Right.
with trusts, it's one of the best ways to get your property transferred after someone has passed. You know, if it's a living trust and the person has passed, it has everything step by step. You know, in regards to that process, and it basically keeps it from going through probate. But in that, you know, in that security, trying to clean it up, you can have, you could have a deed, a kitchen table deed. You could have a deed that was recorded, you know, from a parent to a child or from a child to another child, and then that can mess up the way the actual trust goes. So, you know, a lot of things in the title process, but we're good. We're professionals at it, and once we can clear those steps, we can go forward and actually secure that property. So that's basically the way that works.
Sorry about that.
And we're always working.
So just to recap, you know, one of the things that's really important is for people who are buying or selling a home, you definitely need to have a professional
Yes.
who knows his business. And Michael Padilla is definitely one of those people that knows his business very well. He's been in the business how long, Michael?
17 years.
17 years,
Yeah,
that's a long
17
time.
years.
So if you have any questions regarding title insurance, you can call Michael. What's the number? The best number to call you?
Phone number is 805-340-9037. Call anytime. I'm always working.
Right. And again, thank you, Michael, for giving us all this information, because
Thank
I learned something new right now.
Great.
And if you have, again, questions regarding buying or selling a home, call me, Rudy Campos, Remax Stolkos Realtors, 479-2992. If you have any questions regarding title insurance, call Michael Padilla, Ticor. And again, thank you, Michael,
Thank you, Rudy.
and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.